If you want to make your steel golf shaft feel like graphite, you can do it with this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked these up. They're SHAFTEASE. Now, I've actually tried these before, but I was going to re-grip my golf clubs, and I just thought I might put these in and give myself the upgrade on these shafts that I already feel in my shafts. Really, a backup set like this is really useful when you have people come into town and they want to golf with you and they don't have a set of clubs. And so what I want to do here is not only freshen up the grips, but allow my friends and my guests to feel the comfortable goodness of these inserts. Now, I will say these SHAFTEASE inserts are not super cheap, but they're not super expensive either. They're about $35 for a dozen or so of them, so they'll go into all of your irons. I will also say a couple things that surprised me about them when I got them is how big they are. So if I pull one out here, what you get are these 5 little foam lobes. They're kind of like small pool noodles on a center plastic rod. Now, this rod is no bigger or stiffer than a plastic straw. It is almost like a straw, just maybe twice as long, to be really honest. It is super, super light, right? I mean, between a straw material and the foam material, there is very, very little weight to this. I will also say that the foam is just a little bit wider than a golf shaft, and that's to kind of brace it in place. Now, what you do here is you actually take off your grip and you shove this down the shaft until it's nice and secure, and all these little foam pieces here will help dampen the vibrations that come up the golf shaft. So if you use steel shafts, you are probably aware of sting in the hand. I tell you what, if you have only played steel shafts your whole life and you have never played graphite golf shafts, then you don't even know what you're missing. That does not mean you have to go out and buy a brand new set of golf clubs. You can get a very similar effect with these little inserts, right? So what you'll do here, and the easiest way, is when you are doing a re-gripping of your clubs, take off the old grip and then go ahead and put this in there. Now, what you will have to do is also take out this little wooden dowel here, and found is that if you just kind of push this in, and you do have to kind of compress this to kind of get these started. Sometimes they will hang up on the end of the shaft, but then you use this to push it in. Now, you don't have to go down that far. If you can get it down below or about where the golf grip will start, I think you get the best effect out of it. Now, I do want to show you how long this is. So kind of a standard length golf club right here, and you can see it takes up about 1/3 of the shaft. And so what you get here is when you strike your ball, you get this little foam piece dampening it, this foam piece, this foam piece, this foam piece, this foam piece. So you get like 5 opportunities to absorb vibration before it gets up here to your hands. And that's really, really nice. I will tell you what, it doesn't necessarily take a steel shaft and make it feel exactly like a graphite shaft. But if you've ever been out golfing, and even if you hit it well, right in the sweet spot, I have tended to even kind of brace for that off-center hit where you really feel in the hands. But even when you strike it perfectly off the fairway, you can still get that ringing in your hands. That vibration travels all the way up. They call it the sting, the hit. And then once you put this in and take those same shots, what I feel it feels like is like there is a towel wrapped around the shaft. It's just dampening, softening, muting, blunting everything, and it feels great. One of the ways that I try to explain it is that if you hit those great golf shots, even when they're in the center of the face and you get that ringing, that sting in your hands, it might not hurt a lot, but you can definitely feel it, and I think a lot of us brace for it and kind of flinch at it. What it feels like to me is when you go to the rough and the ball's in the rough and you take a swing at it and you get a little bit of grass in between the face of the club and the golf ball, and it feels a lot smoother. You may not get the greatest shot, but it's that grass, it's that rough that kind of dampens everything. It kind of grabs onto the face of the club, and so you don't have that sharp ringing that goes up through the shaft. It kind of feels like that all the time with this. So, like I said, you might think it's a really small thing, but it makes a huge difference, especially if you're using metal shafts and you're getting more sensitive to the ringing. Maybe you're getting a little older, maybe you're getting a little weaker. I think most people just don't even realize how much vibration they're getting through the shaft. So I beg of you, pick this up when you're regripping, put these in there, and I think you will never go back. In fact, you'll get used to them so quickly that when you swing another steel shafted club without these, you'll feel like they're almost gonna break. You'll feel like you're swinging a glass rod or something. I use them on all my steel shafts when I regrip, and if you want to try them out, I'll put a link to them in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter Von Panda.